Hello there. So Steven Spielberg's latest film, Disclosure Day, is released in the UK today. So to mark the occasion, I'm going to do my top 10 favourite Steven Spielberg movies. So full disclosure, see what I did there. But I haven't seen Disclosure Day yet because it's literally just out. So I'll hopefully be seeing it very soon, possibly tomorrow, hopefully sometime next few days. And so Disclosure Day is not on this list because I haven't fucking seen it. So, I've got some rules for the list. The list basically is you can only have one per franchise in the list, so it's not the same type of film always popping up on there. So, for example, you can only have one Indiana Jones on the list, and you can only have one Jurassic Park on the list, for example. So, that's just so we don't have the same franchises as what's flooding it. So, that's the criteria. I should also point out I have not ever seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I know I've been meaning to watch it. Hopefully, I get a chance to watch it. So, point that out as well. And it's been a long, long time since I've seen Schindler's List, so I should point that out. So, if anyone's wondering where they are, and again, I haven't got around to rewatching it. Uh, so there's some honourable mentions as well before we go. So Jaws as well. It's not on the list, but I do like the film. Bit slow to get going, but it does have a great third act, especially. Munich was another film I think deserves a shout out as well. Very underrated Eric Bana film. I did get a chance to rewatch that again for the first time in years, and it's held up very well. Bridge of Spies as well. It's another one with Tom Hanks and Mark Rylance. Not a film that doesn't get talked about very much, but I do think it's a really good film as well. So that's just some of the honourable mentions. Let's now kick off with the top 10 with one of Spielberg's most underrated films, I would say. AI, Artificial Intelligence, the collaboration that he planned with the late Stanley Kubrick as well. I thought this film, I did get a chance to rewatch it for the first time in years. Not only has it held up extremely well, but it was ahead of its time. Take a look at what all the talks about AI and everything now. The themes are all here. It was really ahead of its time. It still looks visually spectacular, like 25 years later. Looks better than a lot of CGI fest today. Incredible performance by Haley Joel Osment here. Jude Law is great here as Gigolo Joe. What do you know? Brendan Gleeson as well, his part here. The film, I've even got a great voice cameo from the late great Robin Williams as well. So lots to impact. Really, and it has a real. The third act's one of the most emotional you've ever seen. So overall, very exciting film. Deserves its place in the top 10. Number 9, we have War of the Worlds. So, oh yeah, there's another one I forgot from my honourable mentions. Minority Report. The first time Steven Spielberg worked with Tom Cruise is not in this list, but it's a very good film. But I do like War of the Worlds. I watched it again last year for the first time in a while, and I think it's got some great tension as well. With it, the ending is a bit flat, to be fair, but the rest of it is gripping. The first attack is extremely well done. Like the bit in the basement with Tim Robbins is just first class tension building. So overall, despite the flat ending, I do think War of Worlds is a great blockbuster. Number 8, we come to West Side Story. Now this film totally tanked at the box office, unfortunately. But to me, you sort of think, well, does the world need another West Side Story? And then you've got what Steven Spielberg came out here and said, yes, it does. And it absolutely smashed it. Should never really have doubted him as well here. It's brilliantly done. It's just swept, so wonderfully made. Became a fan of Rachel Zegler as well from this. People can say what they want, but she gives an absolute star-making turn here. You can see what Steven Spielberg's seen in her to cast her husband here in this film. Absolutely. This just proved Spielberg can literally do anything, even a musical, and he pulled it off spectacularly. So we come now to number 7, which is The Adventures of Tintin, The Secret of the Unicorn. Again, this one's massively underrated. This film did pretty well in Europe, where Tintin is quite a popular character, but absolutely tanked in America. So there was a planned trilogy with Spielberg do the first one, Peter Jackson would do the second one, and then they would go direct the third one. But there was rumours that they're actually going ahead with the second one now, Peter Jackson. So we'll see. But yeah, I think this is a lot of fun. It does have an Indiana Jones style to it as well. Even the motion capture stuff here works a lot better than it ever did with Robert Zemeckis. It just looks a lot cleaner. Snowy's adorable. Some great action scenes here. You know, big thumbs up for this one. So next up, we've got number 6, which is the BFG. So what happens when you take one of my favourite film director ever and my favourite author, Roald Dahl? You get absolute magic here. Again, Mark Rylance here gives us fantastic performances, the BFG. The actor that plays the main the kid character, Sophie, was excellent. Well, it's lots of fun, charm, whimsy. Spielberg and Roald Dahl combination just works to perfection here. We come now to number 5, which is another really underrated one, which is Ready Player One. Again, I rewatched this yesterday. This is great fun. It's an absolute adrenaline rush and a sugar rush from start to finish. Great action scenes, great little references here and there. And I know spoiler if you've never seen it, but so if you haven't seen it, this is a little spoiler for one of the funniest lines in the film. So fast forward on about 10 seconds or so, but the fucking Chucky line, you're brilliantly done. What a great moment that was. So, Ready Player One, definitely a film which I really enjoyed and did deserve better. So there's quite a few little underrated ones in here. But now we're coming to the more obvious ones. At number 4, we've got Saving Private Ryan. This is one of those films. Some people always talk mainly about the first 20 minutes, half an hour or so, but it's so much more than that. And while that is absolutely harrowing, everything like that, there is so much more. Even the quieter moments, sometimes when the soldiers are just speaking about their families and things like that, and what they've gone through back home and things, and telling, even bit with Matt Damon's telling funny stories as well. There are moments like that which kind of offset the more obvious stuff as well here, and it just, to me, quite possibly the greatest war film ever made. I would go there. Yeah. Come now to number 3, we have Jurassic Park. Say it in an Alan Partridge voice, Jurassic Park. Timeless blockbuster. This was outstanding, and this is where interesting. Whereas I think Jaws drags a bit in the first hour, even though you don't get that much dinosaur stuff or that much action in the first hour. The character moments are actually really strong, and it never feels slow, never feels boring. And then once it really gets into the second half, it just never stops. Like I said, the tension's incredible. The raptor in the kitchen scene is just, some great funny moments as well. Timeless blockbuster. I do actually like The Lost World Jurassic Park more than most people do, but not eligible for this list because we can only have one per franchise, but you've got to put the original in here. So we come now to number 2, which is E.T., the Extraterrestrial. Absolutely magic film. It's just instantly iconic. You've got so many moments as well. That the heartfelt, the ending's incredible. The flying bike scene, everything. The frogs in the school. So many memorable moments, just beautifully made. Honestly, so glad they never did a sequel to this one. Just thankfully that never happened as well. They've done a few advert scores for them, but no, it's absolute pure magic, this film. So we come now to my choice for the number 1, and it's Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. For me, it's just everything an action adventure film should be, from start to finish. It's an absolute blast. Bringing in Sean Connery as Indy's dad was just such an absolute masterstroke. Their chemistry is brilliant together. Opening scene's outstanding. And then, of course, the end, riding off into the sunset. Now, some people say they should have just left it at that, But, I actually like the other 2 films that they made as well. But, yeah, Stephen Kingdom with Crystal Skull. And, yeah, I could have had multiple Indiana Jones films in the top 10, but, I just decided to have my number 1 be the one, my favourite of them. So that's it there. So that's just my thoughts there. Just giving my worthless opinion on that there. So anyway, thanks for taking the time to listen if you made it this far, and goodbye.